Above that muscle, small muscle which is pierced by the intermediate tendon, we call the stylohyoid muscle. Over the posterior belly, we have the other muscle, smaller muscle, we call the stylohyoid. Going to the hyoid, it is pierced by the intermediate tendon. This is anterior belly, intermediate tendon, posterior belly. Over the look at here. You can make the picture here because you can understand in the book. Posterior belly and the stylohyoid. Stylohyoid which is pierced by the intermediate tendon. Okay. So the boundary of the digastric triangle which is formed anteriorly by the anterior belly, posteriorly by the posterior belly and the stylohyoid, superiorly by the lower border of the body of the mandible. So this triangle we call as the digastric triangle. Why we call the digastric or the submandibular? Because this submandibular gland which is inside, located. Okay, so that's we call the submandibular triangle or the digastric triangle. So this the digastric muscle which is the suprahyoid muscle above the hyoid bone. So the action of to elevate hyoid bone or to depress the mandible. So what is the origin and insertion of the digastric muscle? Anyone tell me? Today you took in the lecture.
The mandible.
Yeah. Come close. I will ask you in the end. Okay, come. So what is the origin and insertion of the digastric muscle?
Hyoid bone.
Anterior belly and the posterior belly. Anyone from today lecture if you remember?
They are inserted in the hyoid bone. Okay?
No, only the insertion of the stylohyoid. This posterior belly arises from the mastoid process. I told you lateral part, sternocleidomastoid. And you look the both muscle, they are close. Okay? Posterior belly from this the medial part. Medial part of the mastoid process is stylohyoid from styloid process. Both are very near. Okay? So digastric, then posterior belly which is converted into intermediate tendon. Then anterior belly is going to be attached towards the fossa. We call it the digastric fossa near the body of the mandible. Okay, at the lower border, this area we call it the digastric fossa. If you see the natural bone, here is the little fossa is here. So this muscle on the both sides, two fossa, one right side, one left side. So on the digastric fossa, this anterior belly is going to be attached. Clear? Okay. So the anterior belly which getting its nerve supply, same the nerve which supply the mylohyoid. Okay. Posterior belly and the stylohyoid getting its nerve supply from the facial nerve. Understand? From the facial nerve. So stylohyoid from the styloid process. This one is the styloid process. Okay. From the styloid process, stylohyoid going towards the hyoid bone. Okay. So this about this triangle, digastric triangle. So its floor. Which muscle makes its floor? Can you see the muscle? These are structure, contents. Floor means the more deeper thing. Support these structures. So which muscle make floor? The muscle that is the hyoglossus, mylohyoid. If you bring that belly till here, also the floor is formed by the mylohyoid, hyoglossus, and the deeper muscle of the pharynx, that is the middle and the inferior constructor of the pharynx muscle. They make the floor of this digastric triangle. Okay. What are the structure or contents of the digastric triangle?
Submandibular.
The more important is the submandibular gland. Submandibular gland, and then you can see the tortious. Last time I told you what is this tortious, which is going towards the face.
Hypoglossal.
No, what is this? No. This is the lumen. This is the facial artery. Last time I showed you this one here. Okay, facial artery. Just at the superior to that of the submandibular gland. This facial artery arises from that of the external carotid artery, posterior superior to the submandibular gland. This facial artery, which is branch of the external carotid artery. External carotid artery, which is a branch of the terminal branches of the common carotid artery. Common carotid artery, it is divided into external carotid and the internal. Both you can see. Okay? External carotid and the internal. Go to the This the external carotid, all branches supplying the head and neck. This is from the face and the neck, from the external carotid. Internal carotid does not give any branch in the neck. Okay? If any branch you can see here in the neck, branches from that of the external carotid artery. Okay? So this facial artery also the contain of the digastric triangle, and it is a tortuous, okay, posterior superior to the submandibular gland, and then enter the face. If you feel, because you wear the mask, you feel, put your finger just near the angle, you feel the pulsation. This is the facial artery. You feel here the pulsation, that is the facial artery near the angle of the mandible. So, which contains submandibular gland, facial artery, and also the facial vein. Okay, these are the content. These are the structure anteriorly, and also you can find the structure more posteriorly. You can find the hypoglossal nerve. This is the hypoglossal nerve, which is the 12th cranial nerve, pass through which canal. Because the structure which last time showed you, today again repeating. Hypoglossal nerve, which pass through which canal? In the cranial, in the brain, skull. Hypoglossal. Okay? Hypoglossal canal, because it's a 12th cranial nerve, comes downward in the neck, just anterior or in front of the external carotid artery, this hypoglossal nerve, and going to supply the tongue. Hypoglossal nerve. Okay? So this hypoglossal nerve also the content, and also the carotid sheath. That's why I told you in the beginning, the deep fascia. Now you have to ask, what is carotid sheath? It's the thickening of the deep fascia, just like a fibrous sheet. We call the carotid sheath. It covers the common carotid artery, its division, and the vagus nerve, and the internal jugular vein. These all structure together in one sheath. That we call as the carotid sheath. Understand? Yes. Okay. These all structure. If anybody asks you, what is the carotid sheath? The one thickening of the deep fascia which contain these structures. We call the carotid sheath. Common carotid artery, then it's divided into external, internal carotid artery. This in between the common carotid artery and the internal jugular vein, vagus nerve. Vagus nerve, which cranial nerve? 10th. Okay. So now how many nerves we discuss? Accessory, hypoglossal. Now this is the vagus. So vagus you can find in between the internal jugular vein. This is the internal jugular vein and the common carotid artery. Okay? Understand this one? And this one is the subclavian vein, because later we discuss about the how the